回を4安打2失点。無四球6奪三振に抑え、公式戦初の完投勝利を達成。今季10勝目を挙げ、熱狂的なヤンキースファンを沈黙させました。試合後には、多くの関係者から山本の完投勝利を称賛する声が相次ぎました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
We're going to head out to the Bronx, and Kirsten Watson is out there. Kirsten, how is the weather and how are you doing?
Hi, Jerry. I am wonderful. Obviously, it's a bit warmer today, but the good news is that there's no rain in the horizon. Yesterday was obviously a very wet one here in New York City. So with today's plan, as you mentioned, Game 1 is going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but Game 2 is now to be determined. Coming into this series, the pitching plan was going to be Roki Sasaki, Emmett Sheehan, and then Yoshi was going to have the start for Game 3 of this series. But as you guys have seen, things have changed. Yoshi not only has Game 1, but with that Game 2 being determined after this game, Dave Roberts talked about just what led to the pitching change, what led now to the decision to have Emmett Sheehan pitch in Game 1 against the Phillies. Here's what he had to say.
Obviously, it's helpful to have Yoshi go Game 1. In theory, we get more length to protect us for Game 2. Don't know what we're going to do as far as the starter for Game 2. I think it's going to depend on obviously Game 1. Emmett, we're going to push him back to tomorrow. So I think that in theory, a bullpen game for Game 2 makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, I think we're in a good spot.
Why did you decide to push back Emmett?
The elephant in the room is Shohei's not going to start on Wednesday. His knee, we just want to continue to give it the best chance to kind of get into a good spot. And as he said, as we feel, it's the pitching and the torque on landing on that leg that kind of gets it upset. And so I think that the hitting doesn't do that. So I think that for us, we're trying to give it as much time as possible. So I think being able to kick Emmett to Monday made the most sense.
Did he throw a bullpen session and that's when he realized the knee wasn't responding?
No, he didn't. He just was playing catch, and then also just kind of the feeling of where he's at, how it feels day to day. So that was enough for him to talk to the trainers and feel like there was no need to test it with a bullpen where he already knew the answer, right? So I just think for us, it's more like we've done many times over, erring on the side of caution.
Are you just totally skipping this start or pushing it back a couple of days and doing it?
Don't know yet. But kind of where we're at right now, how we're proceeding, I would say that, it's going to be some time. And I say that it's not going to be a day-to-day thing. I think that once we've moved Emmett, the rotation can keep going forward without Shohei for the time being. And I can't speak to how long that's going to be.
Will he DH both games today?
I will see how the first game goes. And so I'm going to leave that open-ended. Yep.
How much of a concern is this that coming off the injection, it's still an issue?
I think it's more of, honestly, I think that part of it, a lot of it is where we're at and how we've put ourselves in a good spot in the sense of, could he probably do it? Sure. But right now, the cost just doesn't seem to outweigh the benefits don't seem to outweigh the cost this time of the season. So I think that we still have plenty of time to kind of get him to a good spot to then pitch.
It's going to be skipping potentially future starts too. How do you anticipate filling his spot in order to keep kind of a six-man rotation?
Well, we have days off coming up. So that's an easier short-term answer. And then obviously Blake did 2 innings yesterday or almost 2 innings. So then, you like to think that number one, Shohei will be back at some point. And then number 2, we got Blake coming too.
Shohei Ohtani has made it clear that he's only really feeling that knee discomfort when he's pitching, so when he's on the mound. So the team has decided that after he played catch over this weekend, that ultimately something just didn't feel right for him. He, of course, had that shot, an injection that not only provided some lubrication to his left knee, but also relieved some pain. He had that now exactly 7 days ago. So it does seem like as much as he's in a good spot when it comes to when he's hitting, so in the batter's box, when he's on the mound, there's still some discomfort. So ultimately, like Dave Roberts said, there's no exact exact timeline for when he's going to return to pitching. He's going to continue with his flat ground work, but he has not gotten off the mound just yet. And so until he's able to do that, then they'll decide when they can slot him back into the rotation. But like Dave said, it's not going to be a day-to-day thing. This is something that could take a little bit more time than they had hoped, guys.
Yes, Kirsten, not the best of news, but stay cool there in the Bronx.
Yeah.
We just heard Doc talk about Shohei Ohtani will not be making his start there next Wednesday. Concerns, Gonzo?
100%. I mean, the team's in a really good spot. So as far as where the team is as a whole, record in baseball, they still have Shohei at the plate, which is still great, but you do need him down the road. And this is the time to take the step back. I think they're doing the right thing and being cautious with his knee. Going down the mound, putting all the weight. He's not a light guy to begin with. That's a lot of weight, a lot of torque. And as a hitter, it's his back leg. So there's only a little bit of pressure being put on that knee. So I am a little concerned. I'm glad it's not his shoulder, it's not his elbow, it's not those things. A knee thing can, if hopefully by only hitting and not throwing and not doing any of that work for a while, the inflammation will go down. The pain that he's feeling will go away, and he'll be able to get back September into October, which is where we really need him the most. So for me, I think I am concerned, but I'm also in a place where it's like, okay, this is the right time for this. Never a good time for anybody to get hurt. But if somebody is going to be hurt in some way, he's still hitting. And the team is in a really good spot where they don't need him to go out there and start.
I think the silver lining is, and Dave Roberts said it there in that interview, he was saying if, let's say it was the playoffs, he would go out there and pitch, no problem. But like Gonzo just stated, we're in a good spot. We got a pretty good, comfortable lead there in the division. This is the time to make sure you get Shohei Ohtani completely right. It doesn't bother him swinging the bat, so you continue to let him hit. So I love that they're being cautious. And I think with Shohei Ohtani being so important, obviously, to our lineup and rotation, you got to make sure he's 100%. So, you know what? We got to talk about our ace, Yamamoto. He gets the nod game one. Interesting. I love what they're doing here. And Dave Roberts understands, yes, you have a chance to win this series right away. So let's go out there and have Yamamoto start game one. And then if we do win that game, we already won the series, whether or not you're going to play Shohei Ohtani. I love that Yamamoto gets the nod here, game one of the doubleheader.
I think it's a great decision for the Dodgers. They win the series in a really good spot. They can go into the game later tonight as a bullpen game, like Doc talked about. The one question I have is a flip side, and this is on the Yankee side, is why are you starting Schlitter against Yamamoto? Because you want to put your team in a position where Schlitter could go out there and give up only 2 runs and still lose the game.
Yeah.
And so they're the team that needs the wins more than the Dodgers. So you're putting yourself in a place where I would have put him in the second game. So you almost tell yourself, this is a game that we really want to focus on winning. And if we happen to win the first one, we're in a really good spot to take the series, to take the series. So that's the only, for me, which is not our concern, but I'm glad. I think Yamamoto pitching in this first game is the right call, just for everything we've been talking about.
Yeah, and it's a good matchup. Both aces, and it's going to be a fun game. Let's talk about Yamamoto. Obviously, Yamamoto has had a lot of success throughout his career, especially there at Yankee Stadium. Great numbers there against the Yankees. What do you see from him attacking this Yankee lineup?
Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to stay away from the pull side to both sides of the plate there. So just really attacking. I think the reason why he's had a lot of success is because he has an incredible ability to spot the fastball. And when you have great fastball command, you can pitch in small ballparks because you can keep the ball away from the hitters where they can't get the pull. If you're going to pitch in, it's with a purpose, it's with authority, and you're doing it to set up your pitches down the way or away. And you're forcing them to go opposite field if they are going to make a good barrel contact. And so I think Yamamoto's ability to spot the fastball down the way is his key, and he's used it in the past, and he's going to continue to use it today.
Split doubleheader. How tough are these?
You know what? The thing about split doubleheaders is, or any doubleheader as a whole, is if you have a great first game, You feel really good about that second game. So let's hope these Dodgers hitters out there go out there and have a great day at the plate in the first game so they can carry it on to the second game.
And we have one of the best pitching matchups in baseball this season. Yamamoto for the Dodgers, Cam Schlittler for the New York Yankees.
For Yama, he needs to keep the ball down, continue to get those ground balls. Yes, he can change the eye line with the high fastball, but the main thrust is the fastball low and the splitter. And on this side, it's going to be heat from Schlittler. When you look at what he throws with the sinker, the cutter, and the fastball, that's going to come at you about 90% of the time.
All right, so you've got two guys making pushes for Cy Youngs facing off in this one today. Struck out to open this game. He's 0 for 5 in these two games. And at Yankee Stadium in his career, he's 9 for 75. To right center field, Schumann will watch it sail over his head, up against the wall. Edmonds chugging around third. He heads for the plate. Throw from Chisholm is not in time. And there is that spark they were looking for. Ohtani doubles off of the wall to start the scoring.
Well, a lot of it has been said about where Tommy Edman hits. They were thinking number 2 could be best, but maybe number 9 and setting up Ohtani is the more productive place. Number 2 behind him or number 9 in front of him, and it works right here for him in the 9 hole, the base hit, and then this blast.
We got to talk about Yamamoto. Complete game, 7 strikeouts, no base on balls. And how about that last pitch? The perfect cutter to end the game. What did you see?
Oh, Yamamoto was electric the entire game. He gave up 1 run because of a sunball that ended up dropping. He was just, right on point. We talk about having to pitch with command at Yankee Stadium, keeping the ball down, and that is what he did the entire game. He kept freezing them with that low fastball. They did not want to swing at the low split, so he threw the fastball and froze them the entire game. What an incredible job. And that last pitch, that just shows exactly what he's able to do in those scenarios, in those situations. Backdoor cutter. That's a pitch that's unhittable. I don't care who you are at the plate. You could be the best player in the world. You're not going to hit that, and that was just incredible. He did such an amazing job.
Yamamoto loves the big stage. Obviously loves pitching at Dodger Stadium, Yankee Stadium in the World Series. Another epic performance. In the ninth inning. For him to go out there understanding what is at stake. Remember, we got another game tonight. He needs to have that complete game to really save the bullpen. He does just that. Top of the order, lazy fly ball to Pages. And then first pitch swinging Ben Rice. Lazy fly ball to center field. And it ain't easy out there, especially with that sun. Great job, Pages, to make the play. And you talked about it, Gonzo. This very last pitch to Dominguez, the backdoor cutter. Perfect pitch. 102 pitches. Yamamoto setting up the bullpen nicely for game 2. Outstanding job. We're going to go out to the stadium. Kirsten Watson has Max Muncy.
Well, Max, as much as this is a doubleheader, I feel like this first game, we got to talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. For him to get through a complete game, what does that do just for this team? And how does it prepare you guys now for a game 2 today?
Couldn't be a more perfect scenario. Doubleheader, you start worrying about bullpen usage. And, Yama took that completely out of the equation. He just said, I'll finish it myself. And now we have a full bullpen for game 2 and puts us in a great spot.
We knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel just when you looked at the matchup today. How did you guys find ways to get to Cam Schlittler, getting him out of the game early?
Yeah, he's really good. Stuff's really electric. Just try to grind him out, get him out of the game. We were able to do that early, and we took advantage after that.
How important is it just to set the tone when you guys do have a doubleheader, getting the results early?
Yeah, it's huge. It's it's not a back-to-back, so there's enough time to kind of forget about things. But you always want to start the day off good and try to carry that momentum into the next game.
Okay, so tell me, what do you do now in between games, especially with the World Cup going on?
Nap.
Okay, there it is. We'll enjoy your nap, Max, and best of luck this evening.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Just to be able to throw a complete game, I know you've done it before in the postseason, but to do this in the regular season, especially on a day in which there's a doubleheader, how important was it for you just to find ways to be efficient to get deep into the game?
以前も完投されたことあるんですけども、ダブルヘッダーでという日で、これだけピッチングするっていうことはどれだけ山本さんにとって重要ですか？
もともとマウンド上がるときはダブルヘッダーのことはあまり考えず、いつも通りの気持ちで試合に入りましたけど、今日のこのダブルヘッダーの日に9回まで行けたっていうのはすごく良かったなと思います。
Yeah, when I was going to the game early on, because I was not thinking about that. Today we have a doubleheader, and then just focusing on my own job. And then the day like this, I was able to perform like this. That was a good thing.
What do you think was the key to navigating through their lineup, getting the soft contact, and just being efficient?
今日この打線相手にするにあたって何が重要ですか？
まあ、いつも通りそのバッターに合った、ピッチングを心がけましたし、しっかり自分のボールを投げられるように、しました。
Well, first thing, I was focusing on executing my own pitches, and then also
バッターに合って。
and then I was trying to select the pitches that was the best pitches to each hitter's batters.
This is, I think, the least amount of swing and miss you've had in a start, but certainly still effective. How did you change, knowing that you didn't really have the swing and miss, to still get the results you wanted?
今日空振りの数が多分今まで一番ちょっと今週少なかったと思うんですけど、その中でこれだけ効率いい投球ができたっていうのはどこに要因があったと思いますか？
まあ無駄な力みなく、投げていけましたし、まあいいコースに行ってたので、まあ早く変化球になったり、まあいいピッチングにつながったかなと思います。
Because I was just focusing on executing my pitches, and then also I was able to because I'm locating my pitches in the right spot.
How much was your game plan influenced by how the Yankees were responding or reacting to your pitches?
今日試合に入るにあたって立てたゲームプランをどういう相手の反応とかに対してどういう感じでI'm sorry.
How much was the game plan influenced by how the Yankees were reacting to what you were doing?
そのゲーム前に立てたプランがそのゲームの中でその打線に向き合う中でどういうふうに変えていったというかありましたか？
まあ反応を見て変えたところもありますし、もともとの予定通り行ったところもありますし、まあ本当にそこはいつも通りというかみんなで話し合いながら、試合をこう進めていきました。
Because there's a part, because I changed and I adjust as the game went on, and then also between the innings, because I communicated with coaches, and then make an adjustment somehow.
I know this is not your decision, but if it were up to you, how often do you think you could throw a complete game?
完投するっていうのはその山本さんだけの決断ではできないんですけども、どれくらい普段その完投っていうのは意識してます。やりたいです。
まあやっぱりこう9回投げたりするとなんていうんだろうな、勝ち星とか以上にそのブルペンを助けたり、そういうチームにとっていいことが、なんていうの結果以上にあると思うので、すごく、できれば9回投げたいですけど、そんなうまくいくことばかりではないので、いつも通りやっていけたらなと思います。
So, being able to complete the game, whole 9 innings, that gives a little break for the bullpen. Then I'd like to do that as much as I can, but not every game going like this.
When you look at your workload over this first half, how much pride do you take in what that's been able to do for the pitching staff as a whole?
前半戦を振り返って、個人的にどうでしたか？
もちろんいいところも悪いところもどちらも、たくさんありましたけど、そこをしっかりこうなんていうんだろう、振り返って、また半分ありますし、最後は、とにかく大事な、ポストシーズンが始まるので、こうどんどんこう調子を上げていける、きっかけというか、そこにつなげたいなと思います。
There were, of course, ups and downs, negative things, positive things. So I reflect on those things, and then, because maintaining what I can do at the best level, and then the most important part of the season is coming up, so I'd like to do my best.
Dave, just for Yoshinobu, for him to throw a complete game, we've obviously seen what he can do in the postseason when it comes to that, but especially when you have a game like today, a doubleheader, how big was it what he was able to do for this team?
Yeah, it was huge. When you're talking about 6 in a row, doubleheader, so to not have to go to our bullpen in game 1, you get an extra arm and Kyle hurt. So on the run prevention side, the arms, we feel good, but Yoshi was really good. I mean, I think you see Schlitter that first inning and you see the velocity, the stuff, strikes out the side. And for Yoshi to come back and do what he did and to perform the way he did, that's why he's our ace.
When you looked at just exactly how he navigated through this lineup, what would you say kind of was the key to getting that soft contact and obviously limiting his pitch count?
Command. He had really good command today. The fastball command, the cutter in on the lefties, the low dart, the split was really good today. And you could just see, he made the one mistake to Grisham where he tried to go backdoor and kind of yanked it a little bit. But outside of that, he was really good.
At what point did you start thinking he might go the distance?
His pitch count was so good the entire game. And, once I felt, we got to that seventh inning and we tacked on some runs, I felt, he could get us through the seventh, and then he had a good seventh, and it just felt like he could finish this game. And so, again, thinking about where his pitch count was at, the stress, where that was at, and also knowing that we've got another game, in a few hours.
Those days he's efficient, and kind of going back to the playoffs last year. What does he do differently to be able to work as quickly as he does?
I think he gets strike one. And I don't know the percentage today, but it just seemed like he was dictating counts all day long versus trying to be too fine, getting behind.
Was Ohtani okay after the foul ball off his knee?
He was, even when I think when he flew out or something like that, it looked like he was a little ginger, but the at-bats, ensuing, he felt good, says he feels good, so he'll be in there tonight.
So he just keeps on, huh?
He just keeps on. That's right. Yeah.
When Yamamoto's in position to, go the distance, do you see anything different from him that kind of shows you that, he wants that?
Well, he certainly wants it, and I think today he just, coming off that last one, left a bad taste in his mouth. I've referenced this outing, the outing a couple years ago here at Yankee Stadium, which was a really good one, and he's pitched well. He's pitched well here, and, he likes these big games.
The Big Show had 2 hits, drove in 2 today. What did you see for him at the plate?
I just continue to see Shohei being an incredible leader at the top of the order and continue to come up with big hits for the team. We see his at-bats right here, breaking pitch, backdoor breaking pitch, is able to hit a rocket between first and second right there. Just drove in the run, did an incredible job. His ability to come up big in the big moments. Drove in the first run with a big double, got the team on the board, got the team on top.